Imagine a morning where everything feels like it is working against you right from the start. For young Ryan, it was not just a bad start but a total explosion of frustration. Before we begin our lesson today, let us step into a moment we have all felt before. The sun rose on a morning that felt heavy with a brewing storm inside Ryan's heart. Have you ever felt like the world was hiding exactly what you needed most from you? Ryan searched everywhere, but his favorite toy was nowhere to be found in his messy room. His growing irritation felt like a dark storm cloud trapped tightly inside a tiny, quiet room. The more he looked, the more the missing toy felt like a lost piece of himself. In this moment, the battle of anger versus love began to wage within his small chest. What happens when a small frustration turns into a total eclipse of joy for a child? Ryan's face twisted into an angry scowl as the heat of his temper started to rise. He finally erupted, shouting that he hated everything about this difficult and unfair day. His voice echoed through the house, claiming that no one could help him find his stuff. The vital connection he usually felt with his family was suddenly replaced by a wall of rage. His anger burned like fire, consuming the peaceful morning and everything in its path today. Little did he know, this difficult moment was the beginning of an important lesson in character building. Every object he touched felt like an obstacle in his desperate search for his beloved toy. His breathing grew heavy as the frustration bubbled over like water in a boiling, hot pot. He felt completely alone in his struggle, convinced that no one understood the depth of his pain. This simple morning mishap was quickly transforming into a defining test of his young, emotional spirit. We often mistake a loud voice for strength, but true power lies in how we handle ourselves. Finding the path toward forgiveness starts with understanding the heavy weight of the anger we carry. But his anger was not just staying inside him. It was about to spill over into everything. Let us see how Ryan navigates this emotional storm and discovers the calm on the other side. Crash! That loud sound of the door hitting the wall showed Ryan's internal storm had broken. The words inside were no longer enough and his big anger needed a place to go. Ryan reached out and pushed the heavy bedroom door open with all of his physical strength. It swung back and struck the wall, making a thud that shook the pictures hanging nearby. Why do we sometimes hurt the things around us when we are the ones hurting inside? His feelings were like a hot volcano finally overflowing into the quiet valley down below. In a burst of heat, Ryan hit the door with his hand, acting out his frustration. He was still thinking about that lost toy, the small spark that started this big spiral. Looking down at his feet, Ryan kicked off his shoes with a sudden and angry flick. One shoe flew across the soft rug, tumbling before it crashed into the wooden bed frame. The second shoe sailed through the air as his temper continued to grow even hotter. He picked them up and threw them hard, trying to toss his bad feelings away. Every object he hit became a target for the heavy emotions he could not yet name. Is slamming a door a real release, or is it just a trap for our hearts? This moment was a lesson in character building, where fire and water struggled for control. His breath came in quick bursts as he stared at the messy room he just made. Every kick was a secret cry for the connection he felt was missing that morning. He stood alone in the room, watching his shoes lie scattered across the cold floor. He was learning that true strength is about love, not the fire of an angry heart. He thought he was letting off steam, but he was moving toward a lesson in forgiveness. The room fell into a heavy silence, filled only by the sound of Ryan's jagged, angry breathing. Nearby on the soft cushions of the couch, Grandpa sat as still as a mountain in winter. He watched the young boy's every move, observing the lingering storm without saying a single word. This quiet presence felt like a lighthouse beam cutting through the dark clouds of Ryan's internal rage. For several long moments, the only connection between them was the weight of that steady, unwavering gaze. Ryan waited for a lecture or a shout, but the expected reprimand simply never came to pass. Instead, the air in the living room grew thick with an anticipation that Ryan could not explain. Slowly, a small and gentle smile began to tug at the corners of Grandpa's weathered, kind face. It was a look of deep understanding, recognizing the fire that often burns within a young heart. Finally, the old man leaned forward, his calm voice breaking the stillness like a pebble in water. He looked at his grandson and suggested a way to begin the vital work of healing. Grandpa told Ryan to walk back to the door and offer a sincere apology to the wood. Ryan froze in confusion, wondering if his grandfather had finally lost his mind in the quiet morning. The suggestion felt strange, as if the inanimate objects could somehow feel the sting of his anger. Could a simple wooden door really deserve the respect usually reserved for another living, breathing human being? Then Grandpa pointed toward the floor and told Ryan to apologize to his crumpled shoes as well. This was a lesson in character building, teaching that every action leaves a mark on the world. It was time to choose between the heat of anger and the cooling power of restorative love. Forgiveness, it seemed, was not just for people, but a way to mend the brokenness inside himself. True strength is found not in striking out, but in the humility required to make things right. While Ryan's rage was a wildfire, Grandpa's quiet words acted like calm, refreshing spring water. A new connection was forming, shifting the focus from the hurt caused to the healing now required. It sounded like a joke, but the old man's face remained perfectly serious and deeply focused. Ryan stood before a choice. Would he offer an apology to the leather and the heavy wood? The air in the room remained thick as Ryan processed his grandfather's strange and unexpected request. Instead of lecturing his grandson, Grandpa simply stood there, watching the young boy with quiet intensity. This silent observation was not a judgment, but a space for the boy to breathe and think. In the world of character building, the silence between a mistake and a reaction is absolutely everything. Ryan's anger felt like a raging fire, hot and ready to consume everything in its path. Grandpa, however, was like cool water, offering a calm strength that did not fight the flames. True strength is often found in the ability to wait when every nerve wants to react. By choosing not to speak immediately, Grandpa prevented the sudden escalation of their emotional storm. He understood that the battle of anger versus love is won in quiet moments of reflection. Ryan looked at his feet, feeling the weight of the silence pressing against his racing heart. Every second that passed without a harsh word was a step toward a deeper emotional connection. Forgiveness does not always require a long speech. Sometimes it only needs a moment of peace. The grandfather's gaze was steady, showing Ryan what it looks like to master one's own soul. This intentional pause acted as a bridge between a moment of rage and a lesson in love. Educators know that this space is where the real work of self-regulation and growth begins. Ryan waited for a scolding that never came, his confusion slowly replacing the sharp edge of fury. Grandpa continued to watch him without saying a single word, holding the space for his grandson. In that stillness, the boy began to see his own reflection in the calm eyes of his elder. It is in these quiet observations that we truly learn the value of choosing peace over conflict. The tension began to melt away, replaced by a curiosity about the old man's peculiar patience. Then, almost imperceptibly, the corners of Grandpa's mouth began to twitch into a small smile. This wasn't a smile of amusement, but one of deep understanding and unwavering love. It signaled that the bond between them was much stronger than any temporary moment of anger. Grandpa knew that a gentle smile could often disarm a heart faster than 1,000 reprimands. Through this simple gesture, he was teaching Ryan the true meaning of inner composure and grace. The fire inside the boy finally met the water of his grandfather's soul-deep kindness. Character building is a slow process, constructed one thoughtful, silent moment at a time. Ryan felt the shift in the room, realizing that his anger had no power against such love. The choice he faced earlier now seemed less like a joke and more like a path forward. Grandpa's smile remained, a beacon of forgiveness that invited Ryan to step into a better self. Most people think strength is about how hard you can hit others or the objects around them. Ryan stood frozen before the wood, wondering why his grandfather would suggest such a strange, quiet apology. Grandpa's explanation changed everything as he spoke about the invisible threads we weave with our complex emotions. Every time we strike out in rage, we create a heavy, binding connection rooted in deep-seated anger. By hitting that door, Ryan had unintentionally tied himself to it with a burning thread of fury. Imagine anger as a wildfire that leaps from your heart to everything you touch today. If we can connect through such heat, why can we not connect through cool, gentle kindness? Our deliberate actions have the incredible power to bring lasting peace and calm to our immediate surroundings. Choosing kindness acts like refreshing water, extinguishing the flames that once consumed our better judgment. Grandpa wanted Ryan to see that his internal world dictated the quality of all his outward connections. The world often confuses loud voices and closed fists with the true essence of enduring strength. In reality, Grandpa claimed that the simple act of saying sorry shows a person's real strength. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a vital foundation for essential character building today. Does saying sorry make you smaller, or does it actually make your heart grow much bigger? True power lies in the ability to mend what was broken by a sudden moment of lost control. When we heal the things we hurt, we reclaim our own peace from the tight grip of anger. Grandpa watched Ryan closely, waiting for the boy to understand the weight of these quiet, profound words. The anger began to soften as Ryan realized he held the power to change his own story. Healing the connection with kindness would prove far more courageous than the original act of striking. Every apology is a hammer used to break the chains of resentment we forge in our minds. Grandpa spoke of a world where love is more powerful than any storm we might feel inside. Ryan looked at his hands, seeing them no longer as weapons but as tools for potential peace. The lesson was simple: the energy we give to the world is the energy that defines us. If anger is a consuming fire, then kindness is the refreshing water that allows new growth to begin. He realized that by hitting the door, he had tied himself to it with a thread of anger. Ryan stood still, his mind spinning with confusion over such a strange and unexpected request. How could a heavy wooden door feel pain or understand the words of a sincere apology? It felt like a silly game, a childish trick that had nothing to do with real strength. You might be wondering the same thing as Ryan, doubting if objects deserve our words. But Grandpa knew that this lesson was not really about the door's feelings at all. In this moment of quiet tension, the truth began to emerge from the old man's wisdom. Apologizing is not about the wood, but about the person who let their anger explode. It is an act of character building that helps us reclaim peace within our own hearts. When Ryan struck the surface, he did more than just make a loud, crashing sound. Without knowing it, he forged a bond, a heavy chain that tied his spirit to the wood. Grandpa gently explained that every time we act in fury, we create a lasting connection. This connection is not built on love, but on the cold, hard weight of our anger. Grandpa explained that hitting the door had created a direct connection through his hot anger. Every strike creates a bridge between our peaceful selves and the chaos we leave behind. To break that bridge, one must acknowledge the harm done through the power of forgiveness. Think of it like fire and water, where love eventually washes away the heat of resentment. Apologizing is the first step in releasing the hold that anger has over your young life. It requires more strength to say "I am sorry" than it does to strike out blindly. Ryan looked at his hands, realizing that his anger had become a burden he carried. Character building begins by cleaning up the messes our shadows have made in the world. He was not really talking to furniture, but to the part of himself that was hurting. It was time to choose love over anger and restore the balance within his own home. A simple apology could be the key to unlocking the heavy chains of his own frustration. Grandpa waited patiently, letting the weight of his words sink deep into Ryan's racing heart. Now, the boy had a choice to make about the kind of man he would become. It's not easy to swallow your pride, especially when you are only a few feet tall. Ryan took a deep breath, feeling his grandfather's patient gaze resting gently upon his shoulders. With Grandpa watching, he had a choice: stay angry or try something completely new and brave. He looked at the scuffed wood and realized that his hot anger never actually fixed anything. Deep down, Ryan realized that love could change his personal feelings and the feelings of others. Like opening a window in a stuffy room, he decided to let the fresh air in. Ryan slowly reached out and placed his small hand against the cool surface of the door. With a soft voice, he whispered, "Sorry, door," letting the apology hang in the quiet air. The silence that followed didn't feel heavy anymore, but instead felt like a warm, healing embrace. He then turned his focus to the shoes lying forgotten and messy on the hard floor. Ryan told his shoes that it wasn't right to get mad at them for his problems. This simple act of forgiveness was a powerful step in building his young and growing character. Have you ever felt the weight of anger lift the moment you chose to be kind? The fire of his frustration was finally meeting the soothing water of his own soft heart. He discovered that a few simple words really can change the way we feel deep inside. It was a strange but beautiful connection between a boy, his pride, and the objects around him. Ryan stood still, noticing how the tightness in his chest was finally beginning to fade away. Strength was no longer about hitting things, but about the courage to say he was sorry. The storm that had filled the room all morning began to clear, leaving only bright peace. As the final words left his lips, something deep inside Ryan shifted toward a new beginning. Grandpa knew that Ryan needed more than just a trick, he needed a law of nature to live by. To make sure Ryan truly understood, Grandpa shared a secret about how the world works. He stepped closer, his footsteps soft on the floor as he moved toward his grandson. Grandpa walked over to Ryan and wrapped him in a warm, comforting hug of forgiveness. Ryan felt the tension melt away as the connection between them finally began to heal. This simple hug was a powerful reminder that love is stronger than any momentary outburst. "Think about a fire," Grandpa whispered, his voice calm and steady in the quiet room. "Imagine bright orange flames leaping high, consuming everything they touch with relentless heat. Can you fight fire with more fire, or do you just get a bigger blaze?" Grandpa used the analogy that fire cannot be put out by adding even more heat. Throwing more wood on the pile only makes the destruction grow more wild and dangerous. In that moment, Ryan realized his anger was exactly like those uncontrollable, hungry flames. When we meet anger with more anger, we only burn the things we care about. Grandpa looked deep into Ryan's eyes to ensure the lesson was truly sinking in. Then he spoke of the only thing that has the power to stop the heat. Grandpa stated that water is required to put out fire and bring peace back. Water is gentle, yet it has the strength to quench the fiercest and hottest flames. In the world of our emotions, love and kindness act just like that cooling water. Forgiveness is the water that washes away the soot and smoke of a bitter argument. What is the water in your own life when you feel like you're burning? Character building starts when we choose to be the water instead of the fire. It takes real strength to stay calm when everything inside you wants to explode. Ryan looked at his grandfather, finally understanding the true meaning of emotional power. This profound connection was the bridge he needed to move past his own internal storm. It was a lesson that went far beyond the walls of that small living room. If one boy could change his heart today, what could 1 billion people do tomorrow? This moment was no longer about Ryan's shoes, as Grandpa spoke about the entire world's fate. Grandpa's voice carried a weight that made the small hallway feel like a grand stage. He explained that our world is already filled with far too much anger, hate, and fighting. Everywhere we look, people are adding more fire to the flames of conflict and misunderstanding. Is it possible that the journey toward world peace actually begins in your own quiet hallway? Grandpa taught that the only way to truly stop anger is through love and genuine forgiveness. He described how love acts like cool water poured over a dangerous and growing forest fire. Think of a single drop of water creating ripples that travel across a giant, still pond. Your choices today are those ripples, moving outward to touch lives you have never even met. By answering every spark of anger with love, we can slowly begin to change the world. Every small act of kindness creates a powerful connection that can bridge the deepest of divides. Building your character starts by choosing how you respond when things go completely wrong. Reducing your own anger and growing love inside will eventually change your entire life path. It is a transformation that starts within, but eventually radiates to everyone standing around you. What if we stopped adding fire to the world and started offering refreshing water instead? Your heart is like a garden where you can choose to grow either thorns or flowers. When you choose love, you are not just helping yourself. You are healing the world around you. This lesson on the rug was a masterclass in emotional intelligence and spiritual strength. The fire of Ryan's temper was fading, replaced by a cool, calm sense of newfound purpose. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but the ultimate display of true inner strength. Every person you meet is fighting a battle, and your love might be their only peace. Grandpa smiled, knowing that a more peaceful world was built one forgiven mistake at a time. Ryan began to see that his small act of kindness was actually a very big deal. But how do we find the water needed to douse the fire burning inside us? It starts with a simple choice to prioritize connection over the heat of the moment. Grandpa explained that this internal water builds real strength and lasting character every single day. When your chest feels tight, take a slow breath to cool the rising flames. This quiet pause creates a bridge between your anger and your very best self. Deep breathing is like a gentle rain that settles the dust of a stormy mind. Sometimes finding a quiet corner provides the space needed to let the fire fade. In the silence, we find the forgiveness necessary to mend a broken or strained relationship. Walking away isn't weakness. It is the ultimate form of character building and self-control. Grandpa taught that meeting anger with love is the only way to stop the heat. This law of fire and water turns every difficult moment into an opportunity for growth. Forgiveness acts as a cool stream, washing away the sharp edges of a painful conflict. He believed that choosing love over anger could slowly but surely change the entire world. Each time you use your water, you add peace to a world that feels hot. Your small actions ripple outward, showing others the true strength found in kindness and patience. Think of your heart as a reservoir of cool water waiting for a fire. You have the power to decide which element wins when a situation gets tough. Practicing these steps builds a foundation of peace that will last your whole life. Every deep breath is a victory for love in the battle against rising anger. By choosing water, you become a hero who heals rather than a fire that destroys. Ryan looked at his grandpa and knew he had learned something he would never forget. The morning storm inside him had finally passed, leaving behind a clear and peaceful sky. He understood now that feeling angry is a natural part of being human for everyone. It is always okay to feel that sudden spark of fire burning deep inside your heart. But Ryan realized it was what he did with that fire that would truly define him. Looking into his grandfather's kind eyes, the young boy made a quiet but powerful promise. Ryan told Grandpa he would try to answer with love instead of reacting with anger. Choosing the cooling water over the heat of the flames was his new source of strength. This connection between them was now stronger than any moment of frustration could ever be. True character is always shown by how a person handles the anger they feel inside. Ask yourself, who do you really want to be when things start to go wrong? Will you choose to be the destructive fire, or will you be the life-giving water? Your character is the steady rudder that steers your ship through the storms of emotion. Ryan remembered his angry shout that no one could help him, but now he knew better. He wasn't simply fixed. He was now equipped with tools to build a better life. The lessons from the hallway were now a map for navigating the wide world outside. We must remember that learning from stories is better than just listening to them alone. Taking these truths into your heart allows you to grow into the person you admire. Every small choice you make today builds the foundation of the hero you are becoming. Because stories aren't just for listening, they are for living. We have seen Ryan's journey, but now the real story begins with you and your daily choices. Now it is your turn to wonder how you will use Ryan's lesson in your life today. Think about a time when your own internal fire felt like it might consume everything around you. Did you choose to add more fuel to that fire, or did you find the cooling water? Building a strong connection with those we love starts with the courage to pause and breathe deeply. True character building happens in those quiet moments when we decide to choose love over rising anger. Remember that real strength is not about the force of your hands, but the softness of heart. The ancient law of fire and water is a tool you can carry into every difficult conversation. Practicing forgiveness might be the hardest thing you do, yet it brings the greatest peace of mind. Who is one person in your life who needs a little more gentle water from you today? What was your favorite part of Grandpa's lesson that resonated most deeply with your own heart? We would love for you to leave a comment below sharing your own thoughts on this story. Tell us about a moment where choosing love changed the entire outcome of a difficult day. Sharing this story with others is like planting a tiny seed of peace in someone else's garden. Please consider sharing this lesson with friends who might need a reminder of their own inner strength. When we share these values, we help build a world where connection is more important than conflict. Your voice matters in this conversation as we all strive to become better versions of ourselves today. Let the image of the cooling water guide you whenever the heat of anger begins to rise. Every small act of kindness is a victory for the character you are building within your soul. Thanks for watching this journey with us, and always remember to choose love in every single moment.